I think that the masculine realm of bullying is actually very, very powerful. True friend expects the best of you. I think if I were to go home right now and say I'm too sad to work, everyone would call me a dickhead. I think that peer pressure and camaraderie that comes with the masculine world, a lot of it can be delivered in a non-PC way, but that's actually the power of it. So I expect my friends to hold me to a high regard. I mean, we're all busy getting things done and we all expect the best of each other. I would never have friends who don't do what they're supposed to do. We're a group of people, we're all competent people, and we do what we're supposed to do. And if there was one person who continually failed, they wouldn't be our friend very long because we wouldn't have any shared values. Irregardless of how I feel, I have things I'm supposed to do and they must be done, whether I'm happy or sad. If I wake up sad or I wake up happy or I wake up angry, I have the same schedule for the day. The importance we put on feelings was never something, I mean, this is a modern phenomenon, right? Men had duty and honor, and how they felt was not to be taken into consideration because they had things they were supposed to do. Now, once again, now everything's become subjective. Perhaps we're highlighting the importance of feelings amongst men because one, we're trying to feminize them, and two, we're trying to make everything subjective once again. He doesn't go to the gym because of XYZ, or he feels down, or he's depressed, or he has ADHD, or whatever fucking garbage you come up with. That's fine, but he needs to go to the gym. So we've removed the needs, and we've removed the hard facts and the duty and the honor and the commitments, and we've replaced it all with this subjectiveness, and there's nothing more subjective than feelings. How I feel inside on a day I say I'm happy might be the exact same way someone feels inside on the day they say they're sad, because they only think they're happy when they're running around laughing like a child. I don't really give a shit how the men I know feel, because they have things they need to do. And as long as they're going to do them like they're supposed to do them, I don't really care that much. And if they were to come to me and say they feel down about something, and they had a good reason, I wouldn't be insensitive. But we're talking about a death of a family member or something, and we're talking about 1 or 2 days until you just get back to life. You have things to do. There are people in Gaza right now whose families are getting blown to smithereens. Are they sitting around doing therapy, or are they rebuilding their homes? Time solves all things. God solves all things. And to sit around and be obsessed with feelings is highly feminine. I don't like that energy around me. I think this obsession with feelings in general is, once again, purported by the Matrix, and they're trying to convince everybody that if you feel a certain way, it's okay to act a certain way, when truthfully, it's not. Like, you're not allowed to act on your anger or act, especially as a man. Women do this all the time. I had my period, so? You're an adult. You're not allowed to scream at people. You're an adult. Control yourself. If you can't control yourself because you feel a certain way, then you're not allowed an opinion on anything because you're still a fucking kid. I feel angry. I don't shoot anyone. I feel sad. I don't cry. It's the adult mentality. So feelings don't cross my mind. They don't cross my mind because they don't affect my day. You know, people talk about motivation all the time, and I'm tired of getting asked this fucking question. Let me explain something to you about motivation. If you felt like doing something and you didn't do it, you were never motivated. How you feel has absolutely nothing to do with motivation. Motivation can be measured purely by the action in and of itself. Did you take action? If so, you were motivated enough to do it. Even if you didn't want to do it, even if you hated the idea of doing it and was resentful about the fact you had to do it, that is motivation. You don't need another video, another quote, or some magical burst of inspiration. What you need is discipline, unshakable discipline. Because the man who trains when it's hard, when he's tired, when he's stressed, when no one's clapping for him, that man builds a life that's easy. He earns peace through war. But the man who skips the pain, who waits for comfort, who avoids the struggle, he ends up living a life full of regret, full of guilt, full of questions he'll never answer because he was too scared to start. Discipline doesn't ask how you feel, it demands that you move anyway. Most of you have absolutely no idea how powerful you could become because you've never forced yourself to be consistent at anything for more than 3 days. You lie to yourself with goals you never intend to chase. Discipline is showing up when the emotion is gone. Discipline is showing up when your body screams no, when your mind whispers excuses, and when the world gives you every reason to fold. And you say, I'm doing it anyway. People talk about dreams like there's some kind of mystical force that will appear one day if they just believe. Let me tell you something. Belief without discipline is fantasy. You don't need to believe more, you need to act more. You need to become the kind of man who moves forward even when belief is gone. Because there will be days when the voice in your head will tell you it's pointless, that you're too far behind, that nobody notices your effort, and that voice will feel so real, but you don't listen. Because a disciplined man doesn't need external validation. I don't care how talented you are, I don't care how smart you think you are, if you cannot master the art of showing up over and over without exception, you will lose to someone with less talent but more grit. You want to be the strongest man in the room? Then be the most consistent man in the room. It's not the man who trains hardest once a week that wins. It's the man who trains when no one's watching. The man who eats clean when everyone else is feasting. The man who wakes up when it's dark, cold, and silent and still shows up like it's the final round. That's the man who builds something unshakable. Discipline is remembering what you want long after the mood you set it in has left you. And most of you forget. You say you want it, but then you skip the reps, the grind, the hardship. But here's the truth that most people never tell you. Discipline is your freedom. That consistency you hate, that rigid routine, that's the doorway to everything you've ever wanted. You think freedom is doing whatever you want whenever you feel like it? That's slavery to emotion. Real freedom is waking up every day knowing you have control over yourself, that no urge, no distraction, no weakness pulls you off course. That's the life you're trying to build. The man who disciplines himself today is the man who doesn't get broken by life tomorrow. Comfort is a trap disguised as success. It's warm, it's easy, it's safe, but comfort kills warriors. Comfort dulls the edge of greatness. Every time you skip your morning grind to sleep in, every time you take a break from your diet, you are not resting. You are betraying yourself. And the cost of that betrayal stacks up. You don't feel it today, but months go by and you look in the mirror and you see a man who could have been something. A man who knew the path but didn't walk it. But this isn't a death sentence. This is your wake-up call. Discipline is a skill. It's not a gift. You weren't born without it. You just haven't built it. That means the man you are today isn't the man you're stuck with. You want to be respected? Then earn it. Starting with yourself. Do what you say you're going to do every day until your identity rewires. Consistency rewires your identity, and identity drives everything. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. And if your system is based on emotion, you will fail. But if your system is built on discipline, you cannot be stopped. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for the perfect time. Don't wait for the pain to go away. Build your consistency like a religion. Let discipline become your sanctuary. Wake up tomorrow with one mission. Show up better than yesterday, even if it's just 1%. Even if it hurts, especially when it hurts, because the days you don't feel like it, those are the days that define you. That's where the man is forged. And once you walk through that fire enough times, you'll stop needing motivation at all. You'll move with purpose. You'll train without question. You'll build without applause, because now it's who you are. And that is the real reward. If you do the hard thing enough times, it stops being hard. If you commit so relentlessly to discipline, eventually it becomes who you are. That's the cheat code no one talks about. It's not motivation. It's not hype. It's not energy. It's identity. I remember training with broken ribs. I remember working 16 hours with no food in my stomach. I remember nights so cold I had to sleep in my jacket because the heating was cut off. You think those were tragedies? I call them blessings, because discipline was born in those moments. Not in victory, not in comfort, but in pain. When the option to quit was loud and logical, I chose to suffer. I chose to endure because I understood something the average man never will. Consistency over time is the closest thing to magic that exists. It doesn't look exciting and it doesn't feel glamorous, but it's the root of every empire. The man who does the boring work better than anyone else becomes unstoppable. And I chose to master the boring. I was never the most talented. I wasn't the fastest. I wasn't born rich. I didn't have connections. But what I did have was this insane, stubborn refusal to quit. And that made all the difference. Every single day that someone out there skipped, I gained. That's the truth about discipline. It's not just about progress. It's about dominance. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, even if you don't want to do it. You think there's some motivational video that's going to rewire your life? You have to go to war with yourself every single day. You want results? Then do the work even when you're uninspired. That's what separates the elite from the average. The average man only moves when the feeling is right. There are no hacks, just habits, just momentum. And that momentum only comes from doing what's required long after it stops feeling new. I didn't become who I am because I felt like it. I became this because I refused to be anything else. I chose this identity and I carved it into my bones with consistent action. Not once, not sometimes, but every single day. Discipline is how you bend reality. It's how you destroy the man who always settles. It's how you kill the version of you that makes excuses. That's the war. And the best part, you don't need talent to win it. You don't need resources. You don't need luck. You just need to make a decision and stick to it like your life depends on it. You want your life to change? Then build a routine so solid that it pulls you forward even on your darkest day. Make it so automatic that it would feel unnatural not to execute. That's power. That's freedom. You don't become disciplined by accident. You become disciplined by choice. And you recommit to that choice every damn day. If you can do that, if you can find peace in repetition, pride in structure, and purpose in the process, there's no version of you that won't succeed. You don't get this life back. This isn't a video game where you respawn when you mess up. This is it. Every day you sleep in, every workout you skip, every time you lie to yourself and say, I'll start tomorrow, you are burying the man you could have become. And there's a version of you screaming in silence right now, begging you not to die as a memory of what could have been. You don't have forever. Time is eating you alive. The world doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care how tired you are, how hard your past was, or how difficult your circumstances are. It only responds to execution. That's the brutal truth. The clock is ticking, and every second you hesitate, someone else is taking your spot. Someone else is stacking small wins while you scroll, sleep, or overthink. Discipline isn't just about progress, it's about survival, because the man without it is prey in this world. The comfortable illusion that you'll get serious eventually is the greatest scam ever sold. The truth is this: you are either building momentum or you are dying in stagnation. Every moment you delay is compounding against you. Every undisciplined decision you make becomes a habit, and those habits harden into chains. Chains that keep you mediocre, chains that keep you weak, chains that slowly tighten. If you don't sacrifice for what you want becomes the sacrifice. That sentence should haunt you because it's real. The dreams you talk about are on the clock. If you don't make them bleed into your daily routine, they die, slowly, quietly. But here's the hope: it's still in your hands. You don't need perfect conditions. You don't need more motivation. You need to make a decision right now in this exact moment to never miss again, to never break your word to yourself again, to never allow weakness to speak louder than your standards. Discipline is choosing between what you want now and what you want most. You ever think about who you'll be in 10 years? If you keep skipping workouts, if you keep sleeping in, if you keep half doing everything you touch, that version of you, tired, broke, bitter, full of regrets, that version is on his way if you don't slam the brakes right now. But there's another version too, a weapon, a machine, a man with unstoppable confidence and power. He's built through choices made today, not tomorrow, not when it's convenient, but today when it hurts, today when it's inconvenient. That's the test. That's where greatness is earned. And make no mistake, everyone feels the pain, everyone has fear, everyone has doubt, but the men who rise, they move anyway. You want to be powerful? Then master boring. Fall in love with repetition. Make discipline your religion. Because if you don't, someone else will. Someone else will use the same 24 hours to outwork you, outlearn you, outgrow you, and they'll take what you thought you deserve. That's the game. It's not fair, it's not kind, but it is yours to win if you choose to suffer now and conquer later.
If you do what's easy, your life will be hard. That's the truth nobody wants to hear. Taking the easy way out always feels good in the moment, but it always costs more later. Skipping the gym feels good now, but the pain of poor health comes later. Procrastinating feels good now, but regret hits harder down the road. Saying, I'll do it tomorrow feels easy, until you wake up 5 years behind. Life punishes the comfortable. If you avoid the hard work today, life will hand you the harder consequences tomorrow. Discipline is hard, consistency is hard, pushing through pain is hard. But you know what's harder? Waking up every day to a life you hate, looking in the mirror and knowing you settled, watching others live the life you could have built if you weren't so addicted to easy. Easy will trick you. Easy will lie to you. Easy will tell you you've got time, that it's okay to rest, that you've earned a break. But easy never built a legacy. Easy never made anyone great. You want the life? Show up when you don't feel like it. Push when it gets painful. Focus when it's boring, because that's what separates the winners from the watchers. Most people will choose comfort. Most people will pick ease. That's why most people live average lives. But you're not most people. You've got something in you, something that can only come out through struggle, through pressure, through pain. Don't run from hard, run into it, because every time you do what's hard, you get stronger. Every time you suffer through the grind, you level up. The gym doesn't build your body, the pain does. The business doesn't grow from dreaming, it grows from sacrifice. The vision doesn't come to life from wishing, it comes from working. So do what's hard. Wake up early, say no to distractions, choose discipline over dopamine. Because if you can suffer now, you'll succeed later. But if you keep choosing easy now, life will make you suffer later, and it won't ask for permission. Life doesn't care about your excuses. Life doesn't care about your comfort. It only rewards effort. It only responds to consistency. You want power? Then stop giving in to weakness. You want results? Then stop doing what's easy. Comfort zones kill potential. Easy roads lead to dead ends. You were not born for easy. You were born for impact. And impact comes with pain. It comes with pressure, it comes with sacrifice, but it's worth it, because when you look back, you won't remember how tired you were. You'll remember what you built. You'll remember who you became. You'll remember that you were one of the few who chose the hard path and made it through. So stop waiting for it to feel good. Stop waiting for it to be easy. The easy life is the hard life. The hard life is the free life. Choose your pain. One leads to power, the other to regret. But don't be fooled. If you keep doing what's easy, your life will always be hard.